आप स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड मुझे ये बताओ कि क्या हुआ कश्मीर में पिछले 2 डिकेड्स में, ऐसे कितने अटैक्स देखने के लिए मिले हैं?
तो क्या ये ठीक बात है कि समाज में जो कुछ हो रहा है फिल्मों में उसे परोस दिया जाए?
So don't you think that watching too much of animations and action can impact your role in the force?
So how would you handle such situation if there is a post insurgency communal clash in your areas?
Come in, sir.
Come in.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Lakhan, please have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
लेकिन इस बार इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं लेंगे आपका। आप स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड मुझे ये बताओ कि क्या हुआ कश्मीर में?
So it was a devastating barbaric terrorist attack in Kashmir, and there have been accusations that it was perpetrated by Pakistan, which are true to some extent because the responsibility has been claimed by the Resistance Front, which is a front organization of Lashkar-e-Taiba, an organization which is banned in India, and it somehow enjoys immunity and acts with impunity from Pakistan because Pakistan has been housing such terrorist
Who took responsibility of the attack?
The Resistance Front.
पिछले 2 डिकेड्स में ऐसे कितने अटैक्स देखने के लिए मिले हैं और उनकी ईयर्स के साथ में मेंशन करके बताओ मुझे, एंड हु टुक द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ दोज अटैक्स?
Sir, the exact number I cannot recall. However, there are incidences starting from 2000 wherein the terrorists attacked the Amarnath Yatra pilgrims. Then there have been high increase in number of attacks since 2016. We have seen attacks on Pathankot Air Base. Then we saw attacks at Uri. Also, we saw attacks in 2019, the Pahalgam, the Pulwama attack, sir, on our CAPF personnel. Then, sir, in 2024, we saw attack on the Riyasi pilgrims by terrorists who are also part of this organization. So we have seen increasing number of attacks since 2000 to 2019. Post that, after the abrogation of Article 370, the Home Ministry issued a statement that the situation has been normalized. But in the last year, we have seen increased number of attacks in which about 50 of our armed personals have been martyred, and there have been deaths of about 50 something civilians as well, including both the local civilians as well as the civilians from all over India.
क्या कभी प्लेन हाईजैकिंग हुई है?
Sir, in 1999, there was hijacking of Indian Airlines plane. That hijacked plane was IA-819, as far as I can remember, sir.
IC-819. Who took the responsibility?
Sir, it was a terrorist faction led by Hafiz Saeed, sir. Masood Azhar, sir. Yes, sir.
Jaish-e-Mohammed.
आपने लिखा है कि आपकी एक्टिंग में रुचि है।
यस सर।
और आप कोई ड्रामा के डायरेक्टर भी रहे हैं।
यस सर।
ठीक है, आप ये बताइए मुझे कि अभी फिल्मों के ऊपर अक्सर ब्लेम लगता है कि वो किसी पर्टिकुलर नैरेटिव को सेट करने के लिए फिल्में बनाई जाती है। दूसरा ब्लेम ये लगता है कि फिल्मों के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा अश्लीलता है, बहुत ज़्यादा हिंसा है। ऐसे ब्लेम लग रहे हैं ना?
यस सर।
तो आप क्या कहोगे इस पे कि फिल्मों को क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे इनसे बचना चाहिए, या जो हो रहा है वो ठीक हो रहा है?
So the responsibility lies both at the producer's end and also the audience. As a prominent personality from film school, Javed Akhtar said that जो फिल्में हैं वो समाज का आईना है, and Pankaj Tripathi had said that फिल्में समाज को दर्शाता है। तो sir, those films that are accused of propagating some propaganda or accused of having such kind of indecent scenes, they are sometimes trying to connect to the audience which they think would relate to that kind of incidences.
नहीं, आपने कहा कि फिल्में समाज का आईना है।
Yes sir.
तो क्या ये ठीक बात है कि समाज में जो कुछ हो रहा है फिल्मों में उसे परोस दिया जाए?
So responsibility has to be taken. We cannot completely show exactly what is happening, because films, since are a medium of mass communication, they have the potential of causing unrest in the society, and that is why we have institutions like censor board, and also there are.
सेंसर बोर्ड को भी लेके अभी विवाद हुआ था, एक मूवी आ रही थी फूले,
Yes, sir.
उसको लेके एक डायरेक्टर है अनुराग कश्यप, उनके कुछ स्टेटमेंट है वो वायरल हुए.
Yes, sir.
आप कैसे देखते हो उस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को?
Sir, the broader view of the conflict is that the censor board is accused of acting under the pressure of some political classes, and the responsibility at the director's end has been that he, instead of revoking those stances, instead of revoking those accusations, he instead chose to blame the community group and use indecent language. This kind of attitude also
Actors are a subject to director or subject to society?
To some extent, sir, yes. Directors are subject to society in the sense that they have the responsibility of identifying what is happening in the society and then use their artistic freedom to express that.
ये काम एक्टर का है?
Sir, actor and director.
स्क्रिप्ट राइटर का, डायरेक्टर का, इनका है.
Sir, everybody in the film has who's involved.
एक्टर का प्राइमरी काम क्या है?
सर, एक्टर का प्राइमरी काम है जो स्क्रिप्ट लिखी है उसको अच्छे से मतलब स्क्रीन पे एक्ट करना, टू लिव दैट कैरेक्टर एंड मेक श्योर द ऑडियंस रिलेट विद दैट कैरेक्टर.
ठीक.
तो बस एक्टर का काम इतना ही है ना, टू एक्ट.
Yes, ma'am. Acting also involves various other paradigms. If we just have to restrict it to one word, then to act is the main occupation of actor. But we have seen that actors very often do also involve in dialogue writing, script writing, and also in screenplay, because to the core, actor is an artist, and if that artistic creativity is used for the betterment of overall cinematic experience, then actor can take different role as well, ma'am.
So who is mainly responsible? Like आपने बोला कि सिनेमा समाज का आईना है. So who is mainly responsible and who can take the main responsibility to actually have an impact on society? Like, is it the censor board? Are they the directors or the actors or the script writers? So what do you think?
May I take a moment here?
Yes, definitely.
Ma'am, so artistic freedom is a shared goal that we have to pursue. As we see in more liberalized democracies in the West, the artistic freedom is more as compared to our country, and that is something that we should aspire to be. However, the responsibility lies at both the ends. For the artists to present their art in a socially acceptable way, so that those people who are dependent on the film business are not affected, and also it doesn't hurt the sentiments of society to an extent that it causes unrest. And also the responsibility lies at the censor board and the regulatory boards as well, because sometimes when artistic freedom breaches that threshold, then we need to, for the larger security of public harmony, we need to sometimes curb that freedom. For example, we can take the case from France during the Charlie Hebdo riots. Because of the portrayal of Allah by these Charlie Hebdo artists, it led to widespread protests and sometimes even killings. So such kind of things we have to avoid, and because of it, if there has to be some curb on artistic freedom, then it is mandatory step. It is sometimes called as a necessary evil that we have to take care of. Apart from that, government as well as civil society organization also have the responsibility to inculcate education amongst the children as well as the young adult group who are the primary receiver of such kind of entertainment, so that they are also able to identify what is ethical, what is non-ethical, what is a propaganda, what is not, what is truth, what is false.
Basically, mirroring too much about something can have a disastrous impact on the society.
Yes, ma'am, it can.
So you have also mentioned that your hobby is watching action, thriller and animated movies.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't you think that watching too much of animations and action can impact your role in the force negatively?
I don't think so, ma'am, because I watch them from an entertainment point of view.
Very good,
Also, I do appreciate because creating an action and animated movie, it doesn't just involve the role by actors, it involves huge role by the technical aspects of the film industry as well. So that is something that fascinates me. And the USP of action and animated movies is not just storytelling, but it also how they portray the vision or the purpose of the protagonist in that movie, which is what binds them. So that is something I appreciate, and that is why I like watching such kind of movies.
Okay. And another thing which really fascinated me is that you like playing with your pet dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, can you please let me know that how, like playing with the pet or how living with the pet influences your mental health, and how this can be really impactful in your role in whatever profile you go. So, how this can impact?
Ma'am, so it has a dual role. Because of my love towards animal, I adopted my dog, and having a pet definitely has a profound and good impact on mental health of anyone. It inculcates empathy, it inculcates more kindness in someone's heart, it makes them more compassionate towards not just animals but to anyone who is in need of any help. And being around such animals also create a sense of responsibility to take care of someone who is completely under your roof, and such kind of responsibility, such kind of feeling will definitely help in serving in the forces as well as any other profession I take care of. In the forces we have a canine unit as well, so having experience dealing with such animals will also help me in dealing with issues faced by canine units, or inculcating new breeds, or promoting animal rights as well among the forces, and all after these animals are retired from the forces. Such are the implications I can think of.
You said new breeds, introduction of new breeds.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what breeds can we can introduce in the forces?
Last year, Prime Minister Modi suggested that we inculcate Indian breeds, not just in the forces, but also in our homes. He strongly propounded against illegal and inhuman breeding of such animals. Currently, we are recruiting breeds such as German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois in our forces, and Labrador Shepherd in our forces. But there are suggestions of including breeds such as Mastiffs, Indian Mudhound, and also a breed from south of India. I can recall the name, but Raj Hull Mudhound, some name is there. So such kind of breeds should be inculcated because they are adept to Indian temperatures, Indian climate. They will be more efficient. They are also very loyal, very fierce dogs, and they would also be easier to train.
Thank you, Sean.
Lakhan,
Yes, sir.
what is hybrid militancy?
Sir, hybrid?
Militancy.
Sir, I haven't read specifically about it, but if you allow me, I can take it. Sir, hybrid militancy may refer to a new type of strategy known as grey zone warfare, wherein militants act on ground, such as the terrorist attack we have witnessed, and also they act on other platforms such as social media to propagate information warfare, spread misinformation, doing propagandas. As we have seen after this terrorist attack, various handles from Pakistan social media started propagating that it was a flagged or staged attack by India to isolate Pakistan internationally. So using multiple platforms and doing something else on ground and gaining sympathy for their acts on social media, that is termed as hybrid militancy as far as I can recall.
Have you read the newspaper, today's newspaper?
Yes, sir.
There was a clash between two communities in Jaipur, in Johri Bazaar area.
So
What was the entire issue?
That I didn't read, sir.
Supposedly you are posted in South Kashmir, right? And you are posted as assistant commandant CRPF there. Now post the attack has happened. Now what would be your next challenge to handle in such situation and in such sensitive areas?
So first would be securing the injured and getting them to the best medical facilities. Civilian organization as well as the security forces have to work together for ensuring the security of those injured. Second would be immediate threat assessment. There has been no doubt that it was to an extent a security lapse by our side. So having threat assessment, securing the borders, that should be the next step. Third would be meeting all the stakeholders and devising a plan for next action. We have to ensure that the terrorists, they don't infiltrate the next time, and so that we have to make up a plan to fence our borders more strictly. We have to make sure that the comprehensive integrated border management system that we started in 2016 is finished as soon as possible by December 2025 as the deadline. And then we will have to come up with more strategies to increase area domination patrols, as mentioned by Lieutenant General Said Atta Hasnain, that these area domination patrols, they deter the terrorists and insurgents and militants to act in certain geographical areas which are outside the reach of direct military confrontation tactics. So we need to come up with those strategies, and then we also have to establish a consensus among the local population as well as the overall general population of the country that it was a threat as well as attack on the sovereignty of India. It was not at all it should not be taken up as enmity between two communities in the country. We should have to build a consensus that we are united against the enemy in our adversity, and we have the political, economic and military will to take retaliatory action against this.
One important thing that you missed, Shubham, is about communal clashes. We are seeing mass protests and mass demonstrations taking place everywhere in India. And what happened yesterday in Jaipur also was the depiction of the same scenario. The two communities clashed over this issue only. So how would you handle such situation if there is a post-insurgency communal clash in your areas?
So first of all, I will have to take help with the district administration and impose Section 144 for some time in certain areas, certain communally sensitive areas, because once the clash has taken place, the situation usually becomes out of control and someone usually is injured or killed. So first we have to restrict the movements, and then with the help of government and with the help of information technology, we need to communicate to the masses through such social media channels that this was not something that we have to take as communal incident and have enmity with our own fellow countrymen. This is something which is an external threat, and if we play right into this communal narrative, then we will just be helping those terrorists achieve their motive, wherein they use religion as a tool to justify the killings of innocent civilians. And third would be, sir, we need to show examples of how people from both the communities stood up together and helped each other during the crisis, as we have seen even in the Pahalgam case, wherein local populations, local tourist guides, they carried away injured and helped people escape. One Mr. Nazakat Pathan was there, who was a local tourist guide, and he helped escape some children and about 11 tourists from that place. So we need to show some examples as well, that there are people in our country who are there are same people in our country, they are our fellow countrymen and they are not the enemy. So such steps has to be taken, sir.
As you mentioned, there was an intelligence failure in the Kashmir, the incident that took place. My question is very simple on your in this situation and in your personal life also. How do you handle criticism, failure, and the downsides of the life whenever you encounter such circumstances?
So
let's say you were the commanding officer of that area and the intelligence failure took place under your authority. How would you handle such situation?
Sir, in that case, I will definitely accept that it was a failure on our end. As a leader, I have to accept when the mistakes are on our end, and then only then we can work towards improving them and making sure they don't happen next year. The same step was taken by the government in the briefing with Cabinet Council of Security, and in the all-party brief, that it was security failure and lapse in our overall security measures. After that, instead of just reeling into the past and not taking any action, we have to rationalize our thinking. Instead of taking any emotive action, we have to be very logical in our approach of how to prevent such things, make countermeasures, devise next plan of action, and make sure that from hierarchy top to down, there is a common consensus that this kind of failure cannot happen next time. We cannot afford to have this happen, and it will be a blot to our preparedness if such thing happens again. And then with that common consensus built, we have to energize our strategy towards implementing those countermeasure tactics that we devised. But we have to take those steps with rational and logical thinking. We cannot take those steps as a emotional revenge in an emotional revenge mood, sir.
Talking about the emotional revenge, एक ट्रेंड सा देखा जा रहा है, काफ़ी समय से एक ट्रेंड सा देखा जा रहा है कि ये जो टेरर अटैक्स होते हैं, कभी मुंबई हुआ, कभी कश्मीर हुआ, कभी हैदराबाद, कभी जयपुर, अलग अलग जगहों पे पिछले 2 डेकेड्स में कहीं ना कहीं होते जा रहे हैं। तो ये जो इमोशनल रिस्पॉन्स होता है, ये कहीं ना कहीं एक टेरर आउटफिट को साइडलाइन कर देता है और एक कंट्री को पकड़ लेता है, और वो कंट्री टू कंट्री जो एनिमिटी है वो बढ़ती है, और ये क्लैश ऑफ सिविलाइजेशंस का एक नया मोड़ ले लेता है। So from beginning, from a small terror outfit, a small group of people who inflicted terror on a particular area, region or whatever event, वहाँ से फिर एक कंट्री और फिर वहाँ से एक पूरी सिविलाइजेशन और एक पूरी कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करने लग जाते हैं। क्या कारण है इसका?
Sir, first of all, it is a basic human tendency that we do not, when such thing happens, we do not usually pay heed to rationality. We pay heed to whatever is visible in front of our eyes and whatever is easy to shift blame to. Secondly, sir, it is the nature of how our enemy and neighboring nation have acted. The problem here is that various defense analysts and various political analysts have commented that Pakistan is not one state. It is the Pakistani establishment, the Pakistani army, and the general people of Pakistan. And they have worked differently since their inception as a nation. And when these terrorist attacks happen, there has been a pattern that these terrorist attacks, these terrorist outfits have operated through Pakistan, have been trained through Pakistan, have been supplied with ammunitions and equipment through Pakistan. So, and the number of incidences that have happened, which have exceeded the count of thousands, because of such statistics, the consensus has been built in our country that the whole enemy nation of Pakistan is responsible for it. And there's something which, as of now, we cannot really change that.
आपके घर में एक गेस्ट आए,
Yes, sir.
कुछ आपके लिए वेलकमिंग गिफ्ट्स लेके आए, और वो काफ़ी ग्रेशियसली आपके साथ में बैठे हैं, बातचीत कर रहे हैं, फिर अचानक से कुछ न्यूज़ आती है और फिर आप फैसला करते हैं कि इनको घर से बाहर निकाल देते हैं, और उनके गिफ्ट को तो हम रख लेंगे पर हम उनको घर से बाहर निकाल देते हैं। कितना अच्छा लग रहा है सुन के ये ऐसा करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए? गिफ्ट रख ले पर गेस्ट को निकाल दे।
नहीं सर, ऐसा तो नहीं
करना चाहिए ना।
नो सर।
तो जो आर्टिस्ट यहाँ आए हैं, म्यूजिक सुनते हैं आप, हमारी म्यूजिक ट्रेडिशंस में कितना बड़ा रोल है हिंदुस्तानी म्यूजिक का?
यस सर, है।
कितने पाकिस्तानी आर्टिस्ट को आप सुनते हैं? कितने गाने हैं जो राहत फ़तेह अली खान के, आतिफ असलम के, अदनान सानी के, कितने सुनते हैं? तो क्या ये स्टेप्स डिप्लोमेटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लिए जा रहे हैं या रिटेलिएटरी हैं, या इनका कोई फ़ायदा होगा भी कि नहीं होगा कि पाकिस्तानी नेशनल्स को भेज दो बाहर, वीज़ा कैंसिल कर दो, मत बुलाओ, लेकिन गाने सुन लो उनके?
Sir, the visa cancellations of Pakistani national on certain grounds is a good step. However, there are exemptions. For example, in terms of medical visa, there are exemptions which are given. When it comes to banning those artists, So to some extent, the ban which has been given is from an emotive and retaliatory point of view instead of a rational logic. And what it does is it doesn't really benefit India in terms of military strategy or any defense strategy. It is a strategy of India to isolate Pakistan diplomatically and internationally, because the Pakistani artists, when they come to India, when they perform in India, they get a platform which is bigger than what they get in their country. They get international exposure, they get the contracts, and they get revenue from here. And the least we expect from those artists is to at least condemn such kind of terrorist attacks and hold their government accountable. Just like our artists here hold our government accountable. We expect these things from them, but when they do not condemn such attack.
यार हम नीरव मोदी को और ये किंगफिशर एयरलाइंस के जो मालिक हैं विजय माल्या, हमारी सरकार उनको वापस नहीं ला पाई, हम अकाउंटेबल नहीं कर पाए हमारी सरकार को, तो वो आप उनसे एक्सपेक्ट अगर हम ये कर रहे हैं कि वो अकाउंटेबल अपनी सरकार को ठहरा देंगे जो कि उनकी आर्मी चीफ उनकी सरकार चला रहे हैं, तो ये एक्सपेक्टेशंस हमारी तरफ से कहीं गलत तो नहीं है?
Sir, the expectations are not wrong. However, they are very tremendous expectation, which we all know that they won't be able to fulfill because they don't really have the authority. However, it is a symbolic gesture that every sane and humane person should give. For example, after the attack, we got condolence messages from all over the world, including the Organization of Islamic Council, including the Palestine government. So expecting such artists to also express their sorrow and their grief and also condemn such terrorist attack is expected. And if they don't do it, then we should obviously stand by our nation's strategy. We should obviously stand with our national unity, and if the government decides to put a ban on such artists, then there should not be any questions about it, because those artists, even if their music is being used in India, it is not that we are using it for free. We have paid them, they have been given contracts, we have even given them their popularity and exposure. So it is not just a free transaction. However, the contribution of Indian artists can also be taken into account. We have tremendous talent in our own country. So using this argument to just not oppose the government in banning such artists is, I don't think, very fruitful or very holds a strong point here.
Last question from my side, Lakhan. Deterrence का क्या मतलब होता है?
So deterrence is to instill a fear amongst the perpetrators to commit such a ghastly crime, to prevent them from actually making such actions come to play.
Is fear the only weapon to have deterrence?
Sir, when it
आप कोई गलत काम करना चाहते हैं पर आपको ये लगता है कि नहीं मम्मी पापा को बुरा लगेगा और आप वो नहीं करते हैं, या आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि नहीं ये सामाजिक नहीं है, ये काम करना यहाँ ठीक नहीं है, तो क्या वो डर ही है सिर्फ जो आपको डिटर करता है कोई काम को रोक करने से?
Sir, methods of deterrence are different for different situation. When it comes to law and order, the value system of the society can act as a deterrence. When it comes to prevention of terrorist crimes, then fear can be a good deterrence tool. So these terrorists, for example, I mentioned about area domination patrol, that creates a fear and creates a deterrence among the terrorists to actually manifest such kind of action in those areas. So it depends on situation, it depends on whom we are deterring and what tool, whether warfare tool, whether psychological tool that we have to use.
कश्मीरी यूथ जो जिनको बार बार मैनिपुलेट करके और इन टेरर आउटफिट्स में रिक्रूट कर लिया जाता है, अगर वहाँ आपको डिटरेंस का यूज़ करना पड़े तो किस टाइप का डिटरेंस यूज़ करेंगे?
Sir, the deterrence there should be imbibing the Kashmiri youth into mainstream. We can relate this to the left-wing extremism problem, which arise from socio-economic.
But that's not fair. That will not be fair. If you are going for the deterrence, but that will not be the path of fear.
So that will not be path of fear. That will be the path of giving them opportunity to develop themselves economically, socially, bringing them into the mainstream media, bringing Kashmiri artists, our own Kashmiri artists, into mainstream film industries. Then also including them in infrastructure project, decentralizing to an extent to include them in their local area development projects. That is the deterrence, so that they should not feel alienable, or they should not feel any animosity from our government, from our community, from our country, and they should feel that they are part of this country, that Kashmir is integral and inalienable part of the of our nation, and that is something we have to do. We have to win the hearts and mind of those people, and we have to work on ground to ensure that the local Kashmiri youth, which are somewhat brainwashed or misguided, come back into a reformist way and contribute towards national development. We have to make them see that their contribution is going to improve their own community's position, and also it will contribute to the overall national development. And we can, to do this, we can, for example, the Kashmiri youth, they are misguided in the name of religion. To bring them back into mainstream, we can obviously guide them, giving them examples of people from their community who have contributed to the national development, whom the nation reveres a lot, and that is the only way, sir. That is the deterrence that can work from them being recruited into terrorist factions.
लखन, आप जहाँ रहते हैं वो क्या अपार्टमेंट है, घर है, ढाणी है, क्या है?
सर घर है.
कितने यार्ड्स में?
सॉरी सर.
एरिया क्या है?
सर एरिया सर 900 स्क्वायर फीट सर.
एक पेट को रखने के लिए क्या क्या शर्तें होनी चाहिए?
So first should be that the home that the pet is going to be adopted in or taken into, that home should have a stable environment. The pet cannot survive in a toxic or abusive environment. Second should be the family or the household has to be financially secure, that they can cater to the needs of pet.
ये एथिकल है क्या किसी को पालतू बनाना, किसी भी जानवर?
Sir, forceful domestication is something that I'm against that. For example, animals in the wild.
फोर्सफुल है ना, एनिमल खुद थोड़ी है, आपने पैसे दिए उसके, तो एक तरह का फोर्स ही है.
नहीं सर, I did not pay to have my pet dog. I adopted him.
Okay.
I am a strong propagator of adopting stray dogs instead of having them breed illegal and inhumane situations, in inhumane conditions. I don't support breeding of any foreign breeds or any kind of
तो
breeds.
आप सोचते हो कुछ रूल्स होने चाहिए इस पे, कुछ नियम होने चाहिए?
Yes, sir. There has to be rules. There are rules, but the implementation is not really strict. There are rules for canine handlings. There are rules in the animal cruelty.
You said that when you are having a pet, it's just my opinion, that the person should be financially secure. And also in the contradiction of, you said that you don't believe in keeping a hybrid dogs. Rather, you should adopt the street dogs. Or so, don't you think that there is a contradiction in your statement? Why financial security is needed? And how much financial security? Because there is no definition of, is there any definition of financial security or insecurity?
Ma'am, when I talk about financial security in maintaining a pet, that means that the household should be able to cater to the needs, basic needs of the members of the household, whoever the family members are, and also the pet. The basic needs should be food, shelter, vaccinations, and any kind of medical treatments which are required. That should be affordable by the family. And prior to adopting pet, the household should take a glance at their economic scenario, whether they are up for the responsibility, because pets are not just animals, they are full-fledged responsibility that you have to take care of. And that is the financial security I'm talking about. It should not be extravagant, yes, and it should not be very verbose in terms of financial means. It should just be basic financial security, because pets don't really need any luxurious or extravagant items. They just need care and love.
Thank you.
सर रिव्यूज बहुत अच्छा है आपका, लेकिन ये आपके आंसर्स बहुत लंबे हैं, इतना समय मिलता नहीं है, है ना?
ओके सर.
कोशिश करो उनको पॉइंट्स में और जल्दी बताने में, ठीक है। इसके अलावा तो मुझे कुछ लगा नहीं है। तो एक थोड़ा सा आपके जो शोल्डर्स है, स्ट्रेस नहीं लग रही आपको? आप कंफर्टेबल हो इसमें?
यस सर, आई एम कंफर्टेबल।
ठीक है, मुझे थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगा से खींचे वैसे।
नहीं सर, आई एम कंफर्टेबल।
बाकी ठीक है, बढ़िया है आपका।
लेकिन थर्ड मॉक है।
हाँ सर, यहाँ पे थर्ड मॉक है।
बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्रेस है ना। फर्स्ट मॉक जो आपका था, सेकंड, थर्ड, जो सर ने अभी पॉइंट एम्फेसिस किया, बस थोड़ा सा इलेबोरेशन ज़्यादा है। कई बार क्या होता है, सुनते सुनते भी फ्लो में खो जाते हैं हम। तो ट्राई टू कीप इट सिंपल एंड स्ट्रेट, टू द पॉइंट, क्रिस्प रखना है। लैंग्वेज सब ठीक है, एक्सप्रेशंस वेरी क्लियर, वेरी लॉजिकल एंड रेशनल अप्रोच, अच्छा जवाब दिया। पिछली बार भी मैंने आपको बोला था हेयर कट करा के आना,
सर वो अभी करा लूँगा, वापस से बड़े हो
फिर
जाएंगे।
बड़े हो जाएंगे तो फिर करा लेंगे, बट ठीक है, मजाक की बात अलग है। ओवरऑल वेरी गुड। अब मुझे कोई कंप्लेंट्स नहीं नजर आ रही है। नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू कब है?
23 में सर।
23 में। एक और फाइनल टच हम देंगे, इसके बाद में मुझे लगता नहीं है अब ज़्यादा अमेंडमेंट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। कश्मीर सिचुएशन को थोड़ा सा अच्छे से देख लेना।
Yes, sir.
हाई प्रोबेबिलिटीज हैं कि क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे, है ना?
Same as both of them said, that I really liked your balanced approach, especially how you dealt with the very common questions also. So yeah, your approach was very balanced. But that's the only thing that even I was lost when you were explaining so much. So yeah, other which ways you are looking really nice. Your attire is nice. Everything is nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you.
Sir, just an estimate, abhi, based on my performance, how much do you think I would be able to score on this interview out of 150?
Out of
150.
I believe I would at least give you 110.
Okay, sir. So, part 2 120 is to crisp my answers and be brief. Okay.
थोड़ा सा बस हल्का सा क्रिस्पी हो जाएगा। वो तो क्या है कि अटेंशन स्पैन जो होता है ना, वो उतना लंबा नहीं होता जितना जैसे वो मेंस की आंसर राइटिंग हो रही है अभी।
Okay, sir.
तो हमको उसको एमसीक्यू में कन्वर्ट करना है ना। 2 से 3-4 लाइन इज मोर देन एनफ। एंड इम्पोर्टेंटली एक और चीज होती है रखन, जब हम बहुत ज्यादा बोलते हैं तो वहीं पे पकड़े भी जाते हैं। वो कुछ ना कुछ, अभी बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस थे जो मैंने आपके लिए तैयार कर रखे थे, लेकिन अब वो हम कश्मीर में चले गए तो कश्मीर के साथ साथ और भी चीज़ें निकलती आई। लेकिन अगर वहाँ पे आप इतने लंबे आंसर दोगे तो कहीं ना कहीं इस ट्रैप क्वेश्चंस में कुछ ऐसा ज़रूर बोल जाओगे जो पकड़ में आ जाओगे। तो एक KISS होता है, कीप इट सिंपल एंड स्ट्रेट।
Okay, sir. And sir, जो आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा था about banning of Pakistani artist, I chose to not have a balanced approach. I gave a very, in my opinion, I gave a very straight answer कि ban हो जाना चाहिए, कोई उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. There should be no second questions about it. So
देखो,
was it a correct
personally other panel members might differ also, but personally मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो कल्चरल एक्सचेंज है ना, कल्चर को कभी कोई नहीं रोक पाया। ना हवा रुकती है, ना पानी रुकता। आप इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी पे बैन लगा सकते हो, लेकिन पानी के फ्लो को थोड़ी रोक दोगे। पानी थोड़ी रुक जाएगा, तो ना हवा रुकती है ना पानी रुकता है। कल्चर ही ऐसी चीज़ है जो इंटीग्रेटेड रखता है। आज नहीं तो कल आपको वापस से इंटीग्रेट होना है। इन सब चीज़ों के बीच में ये डिप्लोमेटिक स्टेप ज़रूर हो सकता है, एक डिप्लोमेटिक डिटरेंस ज़रूर क्रिएट करेगा। पर कल को जब आप वापस से यहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस होना चाहोगे तो यहाँ पे जो एक्सेप्टेंस है वो लोगों की बहुत पुअर है। वो वापस से क्लैश ऑफ सिविलाइजेशंस हो जाएगा। तो वो देखे जाएंगे कि अरे ये तो पाकिस्तानी है। फिर वही वाली बात, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला, एक टेरर आउटफिट होता है, कुछ लोग होते हैं, कुछ लोगों से कुछ लोगों की कंट्री हो जाती है और उन लोगों की कंट्री से पूरी कम्युनिटी का एक स्पेस मान लिया जाता है। वो कम्युनिटी फिर यहाँ भी कहीं ना कहीं उनको बुरा व्यवहार सहना पड़ता है। तो कल आप जौहरी बाजार वाला इंसिडेंट पढ़ना, आपको समझ आएगा कि सवाल वहां से उठा किस तरह से। क्योंकि उन्होंने बाथरूम के बाहर पे फुटमैट पे लगा दिया पाकिस्तान मुर्दाबाद, उसके पोस्टर चिपका दिए। तो वहाँ के MLA साहब आके, खान साहब आके लड़ लिए, हमारे यहाँ पे बाल मुकुंद आचार्य साहब लड़ लिए। अब वो दोनों तो चले गए, बाकी लोग आ गए, वहाँ पे सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो गई तो सीपी साहब को आना पड़ गया। तो ये जो क्लैश ऑफ सिविलाइजेशंस हो जाती है ना, ये सोच से होती है। तो आप अपने लेवल पे लड़ो, गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट, आर्मी टू आर्मी, आर्म फोर्सेस टू आर्म फोर्सेस। जब जरूरत पड़ेगी कि हमको भी बीच में आना है सिविलियंस को, तो सिविलियंस भी बीच में आएंगे, लेकिन आपकी जरूरत है ना।
यस सर, थैंक यू सर।
ओके,
एक मिनट, आपने भी ये कहा था कि जो आपने बड़ा स्ट्रेट आंसर दे दिया। देखो, इसमें दो चीज़ें हैं कि आप कोई ब्यूरोक्रेट नहीं हो, आपको डिसीजन मेकर नहीं हो, आपको जो गवर्नमेंट कहती है उसको ओबे करना है, ठीक है। तो पहला आपका ये होना है कि आपका जो स्टैंड है वो सरकार के साथ है, आपका जो सीनियर का ऑर्डर है उसके साथ में। लेकिन उसके साथ में आपको ये जो बाकी चीज़ें आपने बताई, सर ने बताई, ये भी साथ में होना है। ये दोनों एक साथ बोलने हैं कि एज ए सिविलियन मैं ये थॉट रखता हूँ, और जब मैं ड्यूटी पर होता हूँ तो मेरे लिए मेरा ऑर्डर इम्पोर्टेंट है।
ओके सर।
स्पेशली फोर्स में इस चीज़ का बड़ा महत्व होता है। दूसरा, इसमें आपने, सर ने बताया था कि जब आप लंबा आंसर देते हो तो आप पकड़े जाते हो, गलतियाँ करते हो। जहाँ आपने गलती की कि ये जो कलाकार आ रहे हैं, अगर बैन लगा देंगे तो इनको पैसा नहीं मिलेगा। पैसा और भी बहुत तरीके होते हैं। पॉपुलैरिटी अपने आप में उसका एक मौद्रिक मूल्य होता है, ठीक है ना। हर चीज़ का एक मौद्रिक मूल्य होता है। रॉयल्टी एक चीज़ होती है, तो पैसा तो पहुँच रहा है। तो कुछ स्टेटमेंट है जो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट हो जाते हैं, इसलिए शॉर्ट एंड स्वीट, छोटा जवाब दोगे तो गलतियों की कम गुंजाइश होगी।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।